Peace. Intelligence. In this video right here, it's going to be Columbus Day exposed and fake Native Americans exposed as well. A lot of people we already know pretty much about Columbus and what happened, but since Columbus Day tomorrow, and I never made a video about Columbus, I'm gonna make a video about it. Alright, so I'm just gonna pretty much like put a lot of different pieces together. Alright, in this video. Alright, so just bear with me. Probably make a couple of grammatical errors and kind of tie it, man. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get the video. Alright, so we just put your seatbelts on. It's gonna probably be a pretty long video, okay? Alright, so let's get into it. For those of you who know, y'all know what the Papal Bull, the Doomed Divisors, June 18, 1452. Pope Nicholas V issued the Papal Bull, Doomed Divisors on June 18, 1452. It authorized Alfonso V of Portugal to reduce any Saracen. You know, Saracens are Moors. We know when Verrazano came to the Carolinas here in North America, he compared the people of the Carolinas to looking like Saracens. Okay, it's saying any other pagan. So a pagan is any other unbeliever any other unbeliever. Okay, they say to perpetual slavery. All right, and say this felicitated. I mean. What the fuck is going on this morning? I'm sorry, though. The Portugal slave trade from West Africa. They say the same Pope wrote the bull Romanus Pontifex on January 5th, 1452. Alright, so we already know pretty much what this is about, though. But, you know, anytime when you see the Portugal slave trade, say West Africa, they basically talking about how they captured a lot of the Moors because it say to reduce any Saracen and Muslim or any pagan. So we will be considered the pagans or whatever. Nonetheless, though, let's get into it. All right. So we know in 1492 the Moorish kingdom of Granada, and so they continue for 3 more centuries in the southern Iberia. It's saying on the 2nd January 1492, the leader of the last Muslim stronghold in Granada surrendered to the armies of a recent united Christian Spain after the marriage of Ferdinand II and Aragon Isabella I of the Castle, Catal of the Catholic monarch. Alright, so we know that this right here is dealing with this right here. This was already put into place for them to basically kick the Moors out. Alright, so now when we see, when did Columbus come to America? Alright, and why did Columbus come to America? How did he know to come to America? My theory is this: when they kicked the Moors out, some of the Moors that wanted to stay, that knew how to that were sellers or pirates or whatever you want to call them, they agreed to bring Columbus here. Alright, so that's where your dirty Moors is at. But at that same time, they still killing Moors at the same time. The Moors that did not want to convert and become Moriscos. You know, most of us are pretty familiar with these stories, but for those of y'all don't know, I'm just going to elaborate a little bit on it. Alright, but nonetheless, I'm going to get into Columbus. Alright, so this is the top 5 atrocities committed by Christopher Columbus. Alright, I'm not going to read all this. I'm just going to, it say, we can subject them all. Alright, it says, in his journal, Columbus didn't mince words about his intention after meeting the Arawak natives in the Bahamas. In 1492, he described the encounter thusly. They say they bought us pirates and balls of cotton. See, and balls of cotton. See what I'm saying? They say they bought us pirates and balls of cotton. They say and spears and many other things. They was willingly traded everything they owned. They were well built. They say good bodies and handsome features. They say they did not bear arms. They say and did not know them, for I showed them a sword. They say they took the edge and cut themselves. Cut themselves out of ignorance. They say they have no iron. They say the spirits are made of cane, and say they would make fine servants. And say with 50 men I could subjugate them all and make them do whatever we want. Columbus would add, as soon as I arrived to the Indies on the first island which I found, I took some of the natives by force in order that they might learn and might give me information on whatever there is in these parts. Alright, so that shows you already. So just from his words right here, right, anybody with any common sense, why would they make this a holiday or make this a day in which people be celebrating? But we know why they made this a day. The same way they made Thanksgiving a day. All these fucking days are rituals, and they are rituals of mass killing. Alright, because look, from just his words alone goes to show you that Columbus was an evil motherfucker. You know, so why would anybody, I'm quite sure the Europeans who decided to make this a holiday made it their holiday. They didn't make this a holiday out of ignorance. They made it out of holiday because this is a victory for them. Alright? So this is a victory for them, and since you subjugated to them, you're going to celebrate it. Alright? So it say slaves and gold. Alright? It say Columbus had two goals in the Caribbean. It say to find gold and slaves. It say Columbus returned home to Spain and came back to the Caribbean with 17 ships and 1,200 men. It say he traveled from island to island, taking Indians as captives. See, it say in 1492, it say a large slave raid. It say Columbus and his men rounded up 1,500 Arawak men, women, and children and put them in pens. It say they selected what they considered the best natives and loaded them on a ship and took them back to Spain. It say 200 died en route. It say after the survivors were sold, it say as slaves in Spain. See, it say Columbus later wrote, let us in the name of the Holy Trinity go, sending all the slaves that could be sold. See? And this is what they make holidays out of. And then when you protest about it, it's not hard to find out about what this bastard did. But the more insidious thing is, the people who make these holidays, they study these people. They know all this that Columbus did. But yet they still make this a holiday. And people don't think that these bastards are evil. Okay, let's get back into it. They say, but slaves weren't enough for Columbus, the Spanish monarch. Columbus needed to bring back gold. Columbus and his crew believed there were gold fields in the province of Callao on Haiti. And say he and his men ordered all native 14 years and older to collect a certain amount of gold every 3 months. Natives who didn't collect enough, check it out. Check this out right here. Hold up. Natives who didn't collect enough gold had their hands cut off. All right, who else used to do that? Who else used to cut people's hands off? So this is a tactic that all these bastards use. Hold up, let me just show y'all something real quick. If my computer allows me. All right, hold up. This bastard right here, Cecil Rhodes, he did the same shit, but this was in the late 1800s, the early 1900s, or whatever. This is the De Beer. This is all dealing with the De Beer and what's the Oppenheimer, the gold. When they was when they was dealing with the diamonds. Now you see these people right here. They say man lost their hands from rope tied. They say too tight by Belgian rubber company soldiers. The boy lost his hand from a soldier that wanted to claim him as a kill. Now you see this shit right here. Now back to the story. back to the story. Alright. Now I say natives who didn't collect enough gold had their hands cut off. Don't that shit seem like when you at work and you don't move fast enough, your motherfucking boss try to reprimand you or something? It say, but it was an impossible task. There was virtually no gold around. It say only little dust in the stream. It say many natives fled and was consequently hunted down and killed by the Spaniards. Okay. Now I say cruelty. It say if captivities and death weren't enough, Columbus and his men had a particular reputation for cruelty. Bartholomew de Las Casa, whatever. It's a young priest who participated in the conquest of Cuba, and say wrote a history of the Indies, described the treatment of the natives, and say endless testimonies. It say prove the mild, pacified temperament of the natives. And say, but our work was exasperate, revenge, kill, mangle, and destroy. Small wonder. It say then if they tried to kill one of us, it say now and then. It say the admiral. It is true. It say was blind. No, it say was blind as those who came after him. It say, and he was anxious to please the king, that he committed irreparable crimes against the Indians. Say Las Casa describe how Spanish rode on the back of the natives. It say how Spanish thought nothing of knifing natives by 10 and 20 and cutting and slicing off them to test the sharpness of their blade. It say Las Casa added two of these so-called Christians met two Indian boys one day. It say each carrying a parrot. It say they took the parrot and for fun beheaded the boys. Now look, now this is the shit that these bastards was doing, and this shit is still a holiday. You understand? And this is the shit that they do now. I mean, they was doing this shit in the 1950s. It ain't nothing changed. Now, you see this right here? It say mass genocide. Alright? It say alright, I'm sorry about that. It say facing extermination. The Arawak organized an attempt to fight back against the Spaniards. They say, but they were little matched against a army, muskets, swords, and horses of Europeans. They say the Spanish hung and burned Indians that they took captive by this point the Arawaks began committing mass suicide. They fed castor poison to the infants to save them from the Spanish. Damn. It say in 2 years, half of 250 Indians on Haiti were dead. It say either through murder, mutilation, or suicide. It say by 1500s there were 500 Indians. By 1650 the Arawaks were almost white. Now that's bullshit, because when he went to Cuba, it was Arawaks in Cuba, it was Arawaks in Jamaica, it was Arawaks in Haiti, it was Arawaks in Puerto Rico. Alright? The Portuguese came to Puerto Rico. That's the reason why you see the Puerto Ricans looking the way they look. The Spanish, he just said he went to Cuba. That's the reason why you see the white Cubans over there. I guess in Haiti, that's where you see the Dominicans, because of the Spanish that came there, whatever though. But I don't believe they wiped out all the Indians. I mean, all because the Haitians are still there now. So that's the shit that this bastard did, and he got a holiday. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He got a holiday. All right. So it was something else I was looking for. Hold up. Alright, this was something I found. I just wanted to read through a little bit of this. This is the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History. It's a Columbus report on his first voyage. Alright. Let me see. I'm looking for something particular. Let me see something. Hold on. Now I say, look, it's on August 3rd. Now, when did the Moors get expelled? Let me see something. In 1492 in January. See, they got expelled in January, and Columbus went to. Columbus came, he sailed to the I guess what you want to call the Americas in 1492 in August. So that was 6 months after so-called the expulsion of the Moors. All right. So it's on August 3rd, 1492. Columbus set sail from Spain to find an all-water route to Asia. They say on October 12th, more than 2 months later, Columbus landed on the island of the Bahamas that he called San Salvador. The natives called it Grenahani. Alright, they always changing the names and shit. Alright, and say for nearly 5 months, Columbus explored the Caribbean, particularly the islands of Juan, Cuba. See Cuba, what I tell you. That's the reason why you see white Cubans there. They're descendants of fucking Columbus. Okay. It say in Espanol. It say Santo Domingo. Now look, it say Espanol and it say Santo Domingo, which is really Haiti. Okay, the whole island is Haiti. Alright. The Dominicans came from him going in raping the women. They say before return to Spain, he left 29 men to build a settlement. They say called La Navata. They say in present day Haiti. They say he also kidnapped several Native Americans. They say between 10 and 25. They say to take back to Spain. Only 8 survived. Columbus brought back small amounts of gold and as well as native bird plants to show the riches of the continent he believed to be Asia. They say when Columbus arrived back in Spain on March 15th, they say 1493, he immediately wrote a letter announcing his discovery to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Now, I'm going to touch on something, right? Now, how the fuck did he believe he was in Asia? That's a lie. He knew where he was coming. See, this is the shit that they try to cover up. Tell you because, understand something. Spain is in Europe. There's no such thing as, really, honestly, there's no such thing as Europe. Europe is Asia. So he already knew where the fuck Asia was at. That's a fucking lie. Europe is in Asia. So you mean tell me he never seen no Chinese people? If he went, what would we say, east? Because I believe Spain and all that shit is like probably right by Africa. But east of that, well, I guess that would be traveling the whole continent. So I don't know if he ever seen any Chinese people, but Asia is on the same fucking continent. So why would you travel the opposite way? You understand? So, alright, let's get back into it. They say, well, Columbus arrived back in Spain on March 15, 1493. March 15, 1493. Alright, so I mean, I'm trying to calculate how long it took him to get here. I'm thinking that it took him maybe 5 months to get here or whatever. But nonetheless, he immediately wrote a letter announcing his discovery to King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Now, what we notice about Queen Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, they're the same ones who expelled the Moors. Ferdinand too. Well, I think that was Ferdinand 5, but this is the same one. They just got it wrong. And Isabella the first. Okay? Now, like I said, them are the ones that expelled the Moors. I'm thinking that maybe some of the dirty Moors sold out and gave them the maps. Because, listen, it's ironic that as soon as the Moors got expelled, they make this travel to the New World. You know what I'm saying? How would they know it's the New? Why would they call it the New World if they thought they was going to Asia? Asia was already discovered. They already know Asian people at that time because they was already trading with them. Okay, what they say? Well, what's the motherfucker name that made that took pasta to China or whatever? I can't think of his name or whatever. China was already, they already knew where Asia was at. So that's bullshit. All right. So I ain't even gonna go no further on this one. I'm just gonna touch on some other shit that I got. Right. So this is not that right there. Okay, hold on. No, it's right here. Let me close this out. Now look, this is what I wanted to touch on. Alright, I just wanted to kill two birds in one stone. We heard, we know about the atrocities and the crimes and the genocide that he committed against the Aborigine people in the regions of the Caribbean. Alright, now these are the people who fucking protesting. Alright, now I'm about to show you irrefutable proof that Columbus never seen these bastards. You understand? Now these are so-called Native Americans. All right. Now these are the people who's protesting that Columbus Day. Right. These are the people protesting. These are the people who claim that Columbus committed crimes against them. All right. But you know I'm the Thompsonist one, so I'm going to do some other shit. All right. But I want to expose these motherfuckers too. They got a place in history, but not with us. And none of this shit that happened to them. All this, they are the last people who got crimes committed against them, and they're the first one who got reparations. They're the last ones, because when we come to Virginia, who was in Virginia? Powhatan. These motherfuckers don't look nothing like Powhatan. Now we're gonna get into this, all right? So let's go. Let me see something. All right, hold on. Let me see. Alright, boom. This right here is what we call the St. Mary the Good One, alright? This is the bastard Columbus right here, alright? These are the so-called Arawaks that he found when he came to the island of Hispaniola, okay? As you see, they are so fucking dark you can't even see them, okay? Now you can tell these people from these Europeans, alright? Now, these motherfuckers right here don't look too much darker, don't look too much lighter than Europeans. Look at these motherfuckers. And these are the motherfuckers always complaining, talking about Columbus never even came here. He never even came to so-called North America, okay? Now, let's see, what was I at? We was here, alright? So now, we got images like this. This is what their plan was, to come here and put you under perpetual servitude and to colonize you and change you from your Aborigine or indigenous, you know what I'm saying, mind state. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, this is the island of Hispaniola, okay? These do not look anything like these people right here, okay? So why are these people complaining that Columbus came here and killed them, okay? Do these, I mean, my followers. Now, I know a lot of you idiots, I mean, not the loyal ones, but the ones who come on here and always trying to, you know, saying, make it seem like we just making this shit up. All right, now you see this guy right here, right? See this guy? He got shorty hair and everything, right? In which he ain't nothing but probably an Aborigine mixed with a European, and he probably got way more European than he does Aborigine in him. All right, now look, do he look like that? We'll go back. Do this guy look anything like these people? Now look at the text of these people here. Do these people hair fall down to the ground like his hair does? No, it doesn't. Okay? So we know who the Aborigine people was. And you see, again, there's fruit and stuff right here. There's fruit showing that these people was not cannibals. These people, I mean, was not carnivores. These people was probably vegetarians and shit. Probably only really ate fish and like probably caught like the fish that was indigenous to around the islands or whatever, and ate fruit. Alright, so we're gonna look at a couple pictures. You know, these are like the images of, you see this right here, these are what they consider to be so-called Indians or whatever, but we know that they really don't look like this. They really was darker, because if you see the little boy right here, the little boy looked just like a Negro. You understand? But this is what they was doing. They was converting. They was making treaties with these people and giving away their children and letting these people colonize their children, just like we do now. Okay? Just like this. Boom. Do these people look anything like the Native Americans I just showed you? No. Okay? I mean, this shit goes on and on and on. Like, Here we go again. See that cross? That's dealing with the doomed devices. The only reason I'm showing you this in connection, actually this is Columbus right here. Okay, this is definitely Columbus right here. And look what they got. They got you bowing down, worshiping. They got another lion too, y'all. They got another lion, y'all. Look, they got you bowing down and with a cross in your hand and shit, like a damn clown. And you looking at Columbus, you know, look at the ships and everything. This is the Caribbean, all right. They got another picture, Columbus. They got another picture of a so-called Aborigine. And they got more Aborigines right here in the background. Look at this. Look at these people. So they let you know. You know what I'm saying? Now look, more Aborigines. Do they look anything like the Native American I just showed you with the straight hair? None of these people even got hair like the Native Americans. Okay? So this is what they was doing when they was starving, when they was eating us and shit, when they was cannibals or whatever. But yeah, man. And these are the Aborigines that they took back to Europe and to Spain. See these? These are the Aborigines they took back with them. These are more, this is more evidence, okay? These are Aborigines from North America that they took back to Europe and Spain, okay? Now, for the people who come on here, and I'm not the one who drew these pictures right here. So you busted. You lying motherfuckers. And then, like I said, I'm not the people who drew this picture right here. I didn't draw this picture right here. Alright? So why are they showing black Indians again? That's all I show is black Indians. I don't even show you no mongoloids or none of that shit. Even though I'm using images and drawings, these drawings to date maybe 300 years. So 300 years, if they was depicting these people, they were not lying about what they seen these people. These are copper colored people that they took back to Europe, and it's probably King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Alright? So we know. Coat of arms, probably a Negro from North America. You know what I'm saying? Look, man, all this shit is connected, man. It's all connected to more signs, all connected. I mean, not connected to more signs, it's all connected to when they, like 1492, like I told you, dealing with, the expelled Moors from Spain. It's all dealing with this shit right here. This is where it's all dealing from, because if this happened in January and this bastard, hold on, it's this one, and this bastard came here in August, he came here in August because they probably had the maps and they probably sent him a parcel after they expelled the Moors. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless though, man, I just wanted to make a video on that, man. And like I said, the doomed devices. This is the reason why I keep showing you all of these images like this with us with crosses and shit, man. Like these images right here, because that's what this shit was about, man. Let me see something. Hold on. That's what this is about right here. Here they go right here. Look, if you see this, This, I wouldn't be surprised if this was Columbus right here. You understand? You see this? This is a pirate. What did they say Columbus brought back with him? No, it wasn't. Hold on, it was in this one. It was in this one. Hold on. It say he also kidnapped several Native Americans between 10 and 25. It say to take back to Spain. Only 8 survived. Columbus brought back small amounts of gold as well as native birds, plants to show. Okay, so when you look at these images, man, these images show like these is all showing what the fuck was going on. You understand what I'm saying? Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if this was Columbus right here, and this is the Caribbean right here. I would not be surprised, man. I would not be surprised. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, man, that's pretty much what happened. Like I said, these probably the natives that he took back with him. You remember he said only 8 survived. This is round 5. This is round 5 right here. You know what I'm saying? No telling where the other ones is at. This definitely is in Europe. Definitely. This is definitely in Europe. You understand? So, you know, when you read this, you pretty much understand what happened. These people come here, you think people got good intentions or whatever because they smiling and joking with you. Next thing you know, they pulling knives out, cutting you up or whatever. So, you know, that's pretty much history, man, you know, dealing with Columbus. And for y'all, anybody who celebrate this shit or anybody who practicing this ritual, you're a damn fool, especially at this point in time. Especially at this point in time. And that's even for the ignorant. You understand? That's even for the ignorant. So, man, with that being said, man, it's another video, man, about the tonsillous one, man. I'm going to keep it coming, man. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, though, peace to the Aborigines. Peace to the Aborigine men, Aborigine women, man. That being said, man, everybody enjoy their day, man. Peace.